Hello young learner. My name is Theya. I am 21 years old. Today, I want to share a personal story that is both sad and inspiring. It all started on a sunny afternoon. I was sitting in my room, scrolling through my phone. Suddenly, my mother called me. She said, "Theya, we need you in the living room. Everyone is here for a family meeting." I was surprised. Family meetings were rare in our house. I walked into the living room and saw my parents, my two older brothers, and my aunt. Everyone was seated and looked serious. I felt nervous. My father began to speak. He said, "We have some important papers to discuss. These papers are about the family property." I didn't know much about the property, but I knew it was valuable. It had been in our family for many years. "We want to make sure the property is managed properly," my father continued. "Theya, we need your signature on a document. It's just a formality." I looked around. Everyone was staring at me. My mother smiled and said, "Don't worry, dear. It's just a small thing." My brothers nodded in agreement. I trusted them. They were my family. Why would they lie to me? I didn't understand everything they said, but I wanted to be helpful. So, I nodded and said, "Okay, I'll sign it." The document was placed in front of me. It had many pages filled with small words. I tried to read it, but the words were difficult to understand. I asked, "What does this paper say?" My aunt replied, "It's legal language, Theya. You don't need to worry about it. We've already explained everything to you." I hesitated. Something didn't feel right, but I didn't want to upset anyone. My mother touched my hand and said, "Theya, this is for the good of the family. Trust us." I looked at the paper again. My name was printed on it. There was a space for my signature at the bottom. My heart was beating fast. I thought, what if I'm making a mistake? But then I told myself, this is my family. They love me. They would never hurt me. I picked up the pen and signed my name. Everyone smiled and said, "Thank you, Theya. You're so mature and responsible." I felt proud. I thought I had done something good. After the meeting, I went back to my room. I didn't think much about the document. I trusted my family completely. I didn't know that my life was about to change. A few weeks later, I overheard my parents talking in the kitchen. They didn't know I was listening. My father said, "Now that Theya has signed the papers, the property belongs to us. She has no idea." I froze. My heart sank. What did he mean? What had I signed? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I felt like crying, but I needed to know the truth. I waited until they left the kitchen. Then, I went to my mother and asked, what was in the document I signed? She looked surprised. For a moment, she didn't say anything. Then she replied, "It's nothing, Theya. Don't worry about it." But I couldn't stay quiet. I said, "I heard you and Dad talking. Please tell me the truth." She sighed and said, "Theya, we had to make a decision. The property is now in your father's name. It's for the best." I couldn't believe my ears. They had tricked me into signing away my inheritance. I felt betrayed. I trusted them, and they broke my trust. Tears rolled down my cheeks. My family had taken something important from me, and I didn't even know it. The days that followed were the hardest days of my life. I felt lost and alone. I couldn't sleep or eat properly. My mind was full of questions. Why did they do this? Didn't they love me? One evening, I decided to confront my father. I said, "Dad, why did you make me sign those papers? Why didn't you tell me the truth?" He looked at me and said, "Theya, we had no choice. The property is a big responsibility. You're too young to handle it." "But it was my inheritance," I shouted. "You lied to me. You made me sign something I didn't understand." My father didn't answer. My brothers came into the room. One of them said, "Theya, stop making a big deal out of this. It's just property." But it wasn't just property to me. It was a part of my identity, a connection to my family's history. I felt like they had taken a piece of my heart. I decided to talk to someone outside the family. I went to my friend Maria. She was a law student. I told her everything. She listened carefully and said, "Theya, you need to stand up for yourself. What they did is not right." Her words gave me strength. I realized I couldn't stay silent. I had to fight for what was mine. Maria helped me find a lawyer. His name was Mr. Carter. He was kind and patient. I told him my story, and he said, "Theya, you have a strong case. We can challenge this document in court." I felt a mix of hope and fear. Going to court meant going against my family, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I couldn't let them take advantage of me. The legal process was long and stressful. My family was angry with me. They said I was selfish and ungrateful. Their words hurt, but I didn't give up. I remembered what Maria said, "Stand up for yourself." In court, my lawyer explained how I had been tricked. He showed that I didn't understand the document when I signed it. The judge listened carefully. After many weeks, the decision came. The court ruled in my favor. The property was returned to me. I couldn't believe it. I felt a wave of relief and happiness. But I also felt sad. Winning the case didn't heal the pain of betrayal. My relationship with my family was broken. After the court case, I moved out of my family's house. I needed time and space to heal. I started a new job and focused on building my future. The experience taught me many lessons. First, I learned the importance of understanding what you sign. Never agree to something you don't understand. Always ask questions and seek help if needed. Second, I learned that trust must be earned. Even family members can make mistakes. It's okay to question them if something doesn't feel right. Finally, I learned to stand up for myself. It's not easy, but it's necessary. You are your own best advocate. Today, I am stronger and wiser. I still love my family, but our relationship is different now. I hope that one day, we can rebuild our trust. For now, I focus on my own journey. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it inspires you to be brave and to make good choices. Remember, learning English through stories is a great way to grow. Keep practicing, and never give up on yourself.